What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another. Was my camera messed up? I'm kind of rushing. Welcome back to another Down the Rabbit Hole. Happy Wednesday. I'm using my mustache wax I just got in the mail. I forgot that I hadn't done my mustache all day. It's hard when I'm in the studio working all day, then I just forget that I have to look like a person sometimes. So, here we are. Anyways, mustache wax is working great. Maybe I should have... Well, I am sponsored. Maybe I should take the mustache wax on the road. I don't know if mustaches are in. I don't know if they've ever were really in. Maybe when the penny farthing, penny fair. Oh no, now I gotta figure it out. That one-wheeled bicycle that's really tall. What is that thing called? I think it's a penny farthing. Hi, Kylie. Okay, well, today we're supposed to be working on a bunch of projects, but I have not done much. But today we're just gonna do some research about the hummingbird to kind of get me started in that direction. So, you know, I can do that. So let's just jump into the studio. Actually, yeah, let's jump into the studio first. I haven't actually gotten the desktop ready for some random reason. Let's see what happens. Nope. So that's interesting. Here. So this would help if that Post-it note wasn't under where my hand was. The little things. Let's go to desktop again. Here's the giant project that I'm working on right now. This is a 10-hour video that I'm trying to cut down. Managed to do okay. It's still really long. I don't think the story's told quite correctly, but just a huge project. It's pretty linear though, and eventually once I get past like level 10, which is like right about here, I think I don't have to do any more explaining and I can just do like a montage of levels put together. Hopefully that'll only take like a minute or so. Because there's not really that many epic clips. There's just a lot of end objectives being done. So I'm making progress on this, but this is taking me way too long. I need to find a better way to edit. Editing game footage is still kind of new to me, so I don't know what to keep, what to throw away. And I'm sure there's an easier way to highlight footage as you go. Anyways, not to get sidetracked. What I was supposed to be doing here was doing this. Alright, so I've been working on the interview questions for this channel. Hopefully I'll get those done sooner or later. Alright, don't need to illegally download sound effects anymore. I'm gonna go to Google. Facts about hummingbirds. I also want to look up hummingbird pictures. I don't know why it sends me to Bing, but I'm okay with it, I guess. If you really want to send me to Bing, fine, Google. I click on Google, then I type in that time I went to Google. Bing puts it on the better side for you guys, though. Oh, did it not work? What's going on? Oh, there we go. Sorry about that. Alright, there we go. Chat's back up. Okay, good. So research. Wednesdays are always a good day to do research. So we need to do a little bit of research about the hummingbird, kind of get a good idea of what the internal structure of a hummingbird looks like. So what the skeleton looks like is helpful, and a couple different poses so I can figure out what I'm going to do with this UFO hummingbird situation. Okay, cool. Well, let's split screen it. Let's read about the hummingbird. Hummingbirds are the tiniest birds in the world. They average 3.5 centimeters long and can weigh up to between the weight of 1 and 8 pennies. That's like the whole, a penny, 1 penny. So you throw a penny at a hummingbird, you could kill it, basically, because it's like its entire body weight. That's crazy. First of all, that's crazy. Second of all, that's a lot of like moving parts and running systems to put in such a small animal. Like, we're getting good with technology, but man, like reality is kind of a, I can't even say the word. Reality is kind of a trip. Okay. 2 and 20 grams. A penny weighs about 2.5 grams. Tongue of a hummingbird is grooved like the shape of a W, and they have tiny hairs on the tip of their tongue to help them lap up nectar. There are 360 plus species of hummingbirds. Hummingbirds are in, why can't I read these in full? Alright, so we're on the American Bird Conservancy. American Bird Conservancy. This was written August 2020 by Erica J. Sanchez Velasquez. I said it right the first time. Alright, we're just going to kind of thumb through this. There are 360 plus hummingbird species, with 15 hummingbird species found in the U.S. and several others that pop up rarely. We have seen only a fraction of the total number of species. Some are common with ruby-throat hummingbirds, the only species commonly found in the East, and Anna hummingbirds, which is found year-round along the West Coast. Others, like the Lucifer hummingbird, have small U.S. ranges. Still others are rare wanderers, like the barrel line hummingbird, and only occasionally found in the north of the border with Mexico. I don't, that's not very good proof that they found 300 plus species, is it? I'm just so confused. It said they only have 15 species. Hummingbirds are incredibly tuned in. Hummingbirds have outstanding spatial memory and can remember feeder locations years later. They are also able to keep track of bloom peaks and remember which flowers they visited. This is because a large portion of hummingbirds' brain is occupied by the hippocampus, an area dedicated to learning and spatial memory. Interesting. Hummingbirds visit hundreds of flowers each day. Something's falling in my room. The smallest bird in the world is a hummingbird. It's lighter than a dime. We're still discovering new hummingbird species. Well, that's apparent because we know of only 15 out of 360. Hummingbird heartbeats are roughly... Hummingbird heartbeats are through the roof. The blue-throated mountain gem heart beats. The blue-throated mountain gem's heart beats as fast as 1,260 beats per minute. Dang, that's a lot. Most hummingbirds beat their wings 60 to 80 times per second. Hummingbirds cannot walk. Hummingbirds can only perch or scoot sideways. They belong to a bird order Adoformes, meaning footless, which also includes other great aerialists with tiny feet. The swifts, small feet, are the asset both with swifts and hummingbirds because they reduce drag in flight, making these birds more aerodynamic. I did not know that. Did anyone else know that? Yeah, I know. I can't watch any more. Well, I didn't know that there was a Blue Planet documentary, but I can't watch any more documentaries on the channel because I keep getting copyright warnings. I don't actually need. I can just read this. Hummingbirds make amazing migration journeys. The calliope hummingbird is the smallest long-distance migrator bird in the world, traveling more than 5,000 miles each year. The rufous hummingbird is a long-distance traveler, taking a 9,000-mile-long journey. 3,900. Where did I get 9,000? Sorry, 3,900-mile-long journey. Thanks to the bird's incredible flight ability, hummingbird migrations can be surprisingly fast. The ruby-throated hummingbird, for example, makes a non-stop 500-mile journey across the Gulf of Mexico in less than a day. 500 miles in 24 hours. How fast is that hummingbird going? $500 in 24 hours. He's going 20 miles an hour. Should have known that. It's a pretty fast hummingbird. All day. It's a consistent speed. Look at that little guy. Look at his feathers are like peacock feathers almost. Oh man. Another challenging thing to paint. Stop hummingbirds from disappearing, like empty your bird feeders during the winter season so their faces don't get stuck into them. Well, that wasn't a whole lot about hummingbirds. These are 22 jaw-dropping facts. No way. What foods are in a hummingbird's diet? You typically see hummingbirds at nectar blooms and sugar water feeders, but they also eat tree sap and small insects when flowers are hard to find in the wild. Oh. Insectivores, huh? Nectar is the high-octane nourishment that fuels hummingbirds, but they also need bodybuilding protein. They spend considerable time hunting and eating the small insects, spiders, and arthropods that provide the vital compounds Thanks to the flyers' amazing agility and special adaptations that essentially makes their bills spring-loaded sets of chopsticks, hummingbirds snatch insects out of the air. Interesting. I didn't know that they ate insects. Hovering, they also glean earthbound prey like spiderweb vegetation, vegetation in other places. Man, gave me an ad for a Samsung. My monitor's already like 3.5 feet away from me, so it's already hard to read. Hummingbirds lack of nectar and sugar water. Do hummingbirds return to the same place? We just read that they did. Long distance migrants, yes. Do they migrate alone? Hummingbirds are solitary migrants, so you won't see them traveling in flocks. Most ruby-throated spend the cold months between southern Mexico and northern Panama. This is why you should keep feeders up for late migrant hummingbirds. It's just a ball of like fluff. Just like the elephant seals, just this like blob of stuff. There it is. That's the good painting. I've had my fair share of drawing hummingbirds or dealing with hummingbirds. I have stickers of hummingbirds, like it's just a lot of hummingbird stuff. So I need to come up with the concept of what this picture is going to be like. What is going on with that hummingbird? Hummingbirds are aggressive. That is the most angry looking hummingbird I've ever seen. That thing's like gonna come and you're goner. You're gonzo. Dunzo. Okay, let's jump over into the studio. Let's zoom out. Let's get the big picture going. I'll probably need the keyboard. But let's just get some scrap paper and let's kind of work through a few ideas. Okay. Let's go. I don't need my dice right now. I probably should have got more scrap paper than just 2 pieces, considering what I need to do here. So I'm more kind of interested by the idea of I have to do, is this on canvas? Is on canvas, so it's either going to be this way or this way. What if I made the UFO look like a hummingbird feeder? Right. So UFO's here in the tree. No straight branches. Terrible. Okay. Just trying basics, right? You have other branches. Come out in the background from this tree. And more branches coming up. Yeah, branches going everywhere, really. But what we want is we want our bird feeder to hang, right? And then what we want from the bird feeder to hang from, we kind of want our UFO, right? And you could be inside the bird feeder, right? You might need like a little scuba thing, although why would, because he's in water, because they filled it. Maybe his rabbit's like swimming on the top or something, right? Inside of there, and then you have this going like this. There's like usually like this little bottom dish tray. You know, like on the really ugly ones, they got like a big old plastic flower. Right, then you have your hummingbird. Shape. What's the wing shape on them? I forget. It's different. Something like that, right? There's another wing over here, this side. Flapping away over there. Got a foot and a foot. The throat needs to be like, the face is like half faced. So from the bottom of the beak, and like curve around the eye. And the color goes onto the back. Head's pretty smooth though. Not a lot going on though right there. Tail is double tailed though. A little tuxedo. At least on this one. So just terrible sketching, but it's all gotta start somewhere. The idea is half the battle. To be sure, I could do that. I could do a hummingbird chasing. In order to do that, though, I have to tilt the submarine or the UFO forward. And lean our he only gets one eye when this happens. And this guy would, this rabbit would be looking this way. Right? And this would be going this way, and then we would maybe have our, so, but when they're flying fast and straight, their wings are against their body, I believe. There's probably not one. Going fast. Yeah, the feeders are usually bigger than the hummingbird. That's true. I was trying to put a little bit of depth in there. Because otherwise I gotta draw the hummingbird tiny. Or I gotta draw the feeder big. So I only got a couple of choices in the matter, really. That's kind of besides the point, though. I wanted to put goggles on our friend. It's gonna look like a mosquito. Because the goggles would have to be like on the side of his face. This is gonna make it look too much like a mosquito. We won't be able to use this, but I still want to finish it out. I also want like the Red Baron helmet. The wings got to be straight back and tucked down into his side. Because he'd almost be like a bullet of color. Would you want to draw a tracer of him? I don't know. There's a chase. I could make goggles for the alien, but in reality, goggles for hummingbird, like the eye of the hummingbird, kind of something like this, where you can get a little bit of shine, right? And we have like a goggle that comes around, but it's got to like really wrap around the front of the head. Because the front of the head of the actual hummingbird is pretty round, I believe. Let's look at the front. Maybe not. No, it's kind of pointy. Still, it'd have to go over like a weird forward hump. Look, I'll show you. Let's go to still have to go pretty wide. But the eyes are very like straight off the top of the head, and there goes the nose, right? So you get more of the throat here. This is a bad hummingbird. Well, that's okay. I'm just practicing. Give this hummingbird a morning shadow like he needs to shave. Maybe he's from the bad side of town. He's had a hard life. He's a crooked cop from the 32nd precinct. He wears a dumb looking hat that doesn't look like a police officer's hat, because I'm not at liberty to draw a police officer's hat. He needs a badge up here of some sort. I don't know, I associate morning shadow with a cigarette. It just seems to fit. Got big bags under his eyes because he's sleep deprived. He's been working the late shift. He's got a badge on his wing because he's the actual security guard. He needs a collar on his shirt. Give him some detail. Maybe the wings coming down to a short sleeve wing accessory. Shirt might be untucked. Okay, we're getting real off topic here. Getting real off topic. What's this guy's name? It looks like Gary. It's not like his speedy friend. I've actually drawn a lot of random hummingbirds doing some random stuff. I drew like a series of 5 or 6. Like one was a medic. It was for a game I was trying to like create a couple of years back. But there's a medic, there's a doctor, there is a soldier, there's just like a whole town of hummingbirds. But the alien might be a good idea to put goggles on too. But like, what kind of goggles do you put on the alien? Just big ones? proportionately sized, I think. I did a terrible job of doing that proportionally sized. But I think that could work. I don't know. Just spitballing ideas, really. Kind of figuring some stuff out. He just looked like his normal eyes. Just more worried. I don't know, I'm kind of torn on what I should do. I like this idea, and the chasing idea is okay. I can put that in the background. Maybe this one, a bird flying this way, his wings tucked back. Or stay real aerodynamic, they tuck their wings in. This one could be diving down this way. Right. Diving down that way. Could easily put goggles on this one, but the goggles would disrupt its forward vision, I think, because you would lose the peripheral vision here. Wouldn't be a good idea. I mean, aesthetically, okay, if I was going to put them on the front, but I don't think the front is going to work. But this one looks like it's dive bombing, really, that shape. Wings in, tail, head, body, even more slender. Something like that. Just thinking of what I can do, because the hummingbirds are so small. And the canvas I have, I don't know. Let's take a look at that. Let's just take a look at our project base. Yeah, they move pretty fast when they're that tiny. They really get to moving. So I gotta make a decision on which way this one's gonna go. Then what's gonna go on it? Maybe I should just call this UFO and hummingbirds and then just draw a bunch of UFO and hummingbirds. Figure out a good standardized hummingbird to draw, right? It's pretty easy. Add that to the UFO. So instead of like, I just need to caricature the hummingbird, really. Not doing a one-line challenge tonight, although that would be pretty good to do with this one too. Like, if I could just draw it in one line, right? There's just so many sharp lines. I was thinking of making a tessellation with a hummingbird in it, but there's not enough. Like the negative space. Like, okay, so it had this little beak part. Right? And the rest would be negative space, so you'd have to make a UFO with the space that's left over. It just doesn't work. So no tessellation. It's not in the project plans. Could be cool, but I don't think I can get it to work together. Yeah. So our plan should be just to kind of draw a simple hummingbird. Figure it out. Okay, so head, body, wing, feet, nose, eye, nope, that's not it. That's not the one. Let's look at some visuals. His head's more like a football shape, huh? Than a round circle. I really like, it's more like a square. Dips down a little bit. That's better. See what happens when you actually look at the picture you're trying to draw? This bill still comes out to a point. Okay. Body goes like this. Wing can come out like this. And the body needs to come out a little bit more. Then we got tail. Little tiny tail, and then 2 feet. better. Still looks like a penguin with like random. I still love it. What about this angle? We got like a nose here. Comes to a point. We have the head. And like halfway through the nose, we follow this line, and then it comes up where then the eye hangs out. And then from that nose, we go kind of down the back of the head, and this part is flat. Around the back of the head, then we have this like redneck sequin thing going on here, and a body that comes down to two little tiny feet. This comes out to his back, which goes to a wing. That back part comes down here as well, so this is in front, and we have a tail that goes this way, tail that goes this way, and these two feathers slightly overlap. And then we need to finish up the bottom of our bird here. That's in the background. Now wings go, feathers go this way and somewhat this way. Not right. Should get longer. Something more like that. Right? Something in that realm of things. Let's see what else we got. That one doesn't look real. Probably is though. It's a weird looking animal. Let's draw this one. He's got a downward face. His eye still lines up with his beak, so maybe this is a good test so I know how to draw hummingbirds in the future. Eyes line up with their beak. They got kind of a square head. And then usually have like a neck and a body. This one's wing goes this way. Body's coming down like this. This one actually looks like he has three little claws coming down. Because he can still perch, he just is not able to walk forward. Probably has no knees. Not needs, he probably has lots of needs, but he just doesn't have any knees. And there's like all sorts of designs on his face. I feel like hummingbird feathers would be like, I mean, I'm sure hummingbirds just fall apart if you tried to harvest feathers from them, weighing less than a dime. I feel like it's hard for you to really what's the rest of the bird look like? It's all white down here, so it's like really just some shading, some off shading, and this is like brown. So we're gonna color this in, go with the grain, try to go with the grain as you're lining in. I'm trying to do that a little bit better. Here's the feathers as I would normally draw them. There's two very prominent feathers right here though. And this goes back just a little bit. And there seems to be like a different type of feather here. Now, it's not to say that there's no feathers here, they're just white. So we're just going to see shade from here, probably in like a row, would probably be my guess, where all the feathers are kind of coming together to meet, because nothing is absolutely white. This is a good opportunity to put like a UFO in here, or no one may see it. I mean, you'll see it eventually, but it's a good way to hide. So like, what if I did there's some interesting ideas. This almost looks like a war getting ready to battle. What if I did a bunch of UFOs on one side and a bunch of hummingbirds on the other side? The problem is that they would have to be looking at something in the middle that would be intriguing to both of them, right? Like, there's got to be a focus. I don't know. But what good does a UFO have with a bird feeder? Pointillism. Pointillism is a different skill. I think it's quite soothing though. I'm not mad when you do pointillism. Hopefully you're not mad. I'd always do like a mix up too. Anyways, it is. Yeah, I was thinking that, but would be even better than doing that. You would just do. I thought that maybe I could do a spaceship, do the bird feeder, and have like the glass of the UFO cracked. So he needs like he needs a new dome, right? And he's like looking at the dome of the bird feeder, which is maybe a little bit different shaped, but it's like sparkling, right? Kind of like, there's the bird feeder, I can use that as my spaceship, right? Here's our UFO stranded. He's like eyeing it, maybe as a set of binoculars. He's not turned the right way for this example, but if I had done it correctly. Right? I could do it like that. Or if I was going to do it like correctly, maybe just draw a flower, right? With like right, draw a flower with one of those things. Then just draw a UFO here, like looming over it. Big old eyes. And his rabbit. Right? And then the top of the UFO, right? And then maybe a robotic arm. It starts getting pretty complicated. And then we have the same style. Balance it out a little bit. Something like that. That could be a good idea. I don't know. It's hard to tell a story in one shot, but we're going to get it done. But that's going to be it for the brainstorming session of today's stream. And that's pretty much the end of the stream today. Just a short little casual stream. Lots of projects being worked on and getting finished all the time. So we're still moving forward. I'll get to paint on this hopefully by tomorrow. Kind of nail down a good set of brainstorm. I don't know. I have a lot of different ideas. I feel like I want to do something more my style. Kind of was brought to my attention that the kangaroo I might not be doing it the style I want to. I might be trying to learn something, but I don't know if that's the end goal, if this is the way I want to paint. So I kind of need to like somewhat search for that a little bit more, as well as like paint things that I enjoy and like, Anyways, that's going to be it for this one. Hope everyone else out there is having a good week. Happy Wednesday. I hope you have a good rest of your week. and we'll see you next time. Good night.